The Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Olukayode Ariwoola, has sworn in 307 judicial officers to preside over petitions which will arise from the 2023 general election. According to Nigeria's 1999 Constitution and Section 130 of the Electoral Act 2022, the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Dongban-Mensem, has the powers to set up election tribunals.
The judicial officers were charged by the CJN to conduct themselves professionally. After the swearing-in ceremony, the judges were expected to commence a capacity-building workshop, which will last for 4 days. We have joining us this morning legal practitioner and managing partner, ROSENUT Solicitors, AZAINO. Good morning, and thank you for joining us all the way from Kano in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Olive and Johnson. My pleasure of being here.
Maybe we should start by getting your feel about this appointment and the appointments that have been made. There have been conversations about the timing. Is it too early? Is it too late? Is it just right? Seeing as elections are coming up in February.
Well, I don't think it's too early. I think it makes room for better preparation. These persons are judges that sit in their respective courts, and like you rightly mentioned in the introduction line, the president of the Court of Appeal selected these persons before the CJN swore them in on Monday. So it's not too early constitutionally to give them time to prepare adequately.
All right, we also do hear that the judicial officers are to embark on a training, a workshop that will help them do well. Do you have any idea what this workshop basically entails ahead of the elections?
So basically, it's to harmonize and to synergize. These various tribunals, they will cover virtually every states. Out of the 28 states that are going to be engaged in active gubernatorial elections, the 36 states are going to be, but 28 are going to be conducting their general election. Let's not forget that this is the first time that this amended Electoral Act is going to be put to use on a national scale. Of course, we've used it in Oyo before. We've also used it in Ekiti to test it out. But for the first time, it's going to have a national coverage that will let us know and feel how the general populace take to this specific electoral act. So other than that, there is nothing really superficial about the appointment.
Are there expectations that they will be flooded with a lot of work in this coming elections? We know how election tribunals usually are, but what are the expectations for this new cycle?
Well, as usual, we are expectant, we are hopeful, we are Nigerians, and it's our hallmark. But one needs to give a careful perusal and review of the Electoral Act. It has, sort of revolutionized election in Nigeria to make sure that elections are not just deemed fair, but seen to be fair. A lot of electronic devices are going to be applied in this specific election to ensure that issues of vote buying, general corruptions are eroded. So we are confident that this election is going to be a free and fair one. It's the desire of everyone. But as we all know, Olive, litigation is inevitable. There are people that will be aggrieved. There are people that will feel their mandate has been taken from them, and they want to explore the options of seeking litigation. Unlike normal parlance where they go to the High Court, these special tribunals have been set up. From there, then we can talk about the Court of Appeal and who still feel aggrieved to the Supreme Court.
All right, the CJN himself did say, and I quote, "I will not condone any act of recklessness, abuse of power and public trust." And he mentioned that it is a rare privilege and lordship must be given a good account, especially of themselves. When you use such words as not condoning recklessness and abuse of power of any kind, aren't these who are appointed or who have actually been sworn in supposed to work under a constitutional oath, if you put it that way?
Yes. Like you know, judges are humans. They are not angels. They didn't fall from heaven. So they live in society. And to borrow the famous quoting, I think John Savigny once said that the law goes with the growth and strengthening with the strength of a nation, and finally dies as a nation loses its nationality, you would ask yourself, what is the prevalence domineering factor in Nigeria? Let's not kid ourselves, it's corruption. It's spread across every field. So the CJN warning or admonition is apt. This tribunal will be sitting in different states and they will be influenced. People will try and influence them. There's money. People will try to corrupt the system. So his admonition is well timed and is to send a warning to those officers, because the country's democracy rests on their hand, whereby litigants go to them. People that go to court or go to these tribunals are going for justice. A situation whereby justice will be sold or seem not to be done will bring our democracy in a spiral downfall, and that is what the CJN is warning against severely.
In the past 5 years, we've had about 3,959 election tribunals, election petitions that have come up. Now, the question is, as we count down to the elections, about 103 days to the elections in 2023, are there areas maybe that we need to improve over the years, looking at the mistakes that may have been made? Are there things that we need to take into consideration, or things that maybe can be done differently as we prepare for the incoming elections?
Personally, I think there are a whole lot of things that can be done. The Electoral Act, as imperfect as it may be, have tried to solve some of the issues, such as electronic transmission of results, to avoid vote buying. Tried its best, but let's not forget the human factor. These institutions are manned by humans. We should stop speaking in idealistic terms. The humans man these institutions, so it's for the humans involved, the politicians, the active participants, the electorate, to stand firm and understand that this 2023 election is an important one for the survival of our country, and ensure that fair play cuts across all boards. It's for them to hold on tenaciously to democracy and cast their vote in orderly manner, let the vote count, and let the winners be elected. And democracy, it allows for the voices of the minority to be heard, while the majority will have their way. So at the end of the day, the majority will have their way, and the minority will also have their say.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us all the way from Kano in Nigeria. Legal practitioner and managing partner, ROSENUT Solicitors, AZAINO. We appreciate your time.
That's all, man, Johnson.
All right then.